Hey, what's up, everybody? Got Slammiversary on the 22nd. Live stream about it, what to look forward to, what's gonna happen, like you guys out inputs on it. But Slammiversary, be on July 22nd, a couple weeks from now, and look at all the matches and what to look forward to. Okay, so we got Tessa Blanchard versus Allie in a singles match. Tessa Blanchard, she's a Blanchard. Um, I don't know. Madison Rain's been beating her on Impact lately, and honestly, I hope she becomes a big star in Impact Wrestling, bigger star than Madison Rain, unless she ends up in NXT, which wouldn't be a big deal. Bad idea, but still, they can do things with her. Also, the Latin American Exchange, Santana and Ortiz with Conan versus the OGZ, Hernandez and Homicide with King. Been an interesting storyline. People say that Conan coming back into Impact Wrestling is reminds them of 2007, and Conan having such great mic skills, being a, such a have such knowledge of the wrestling business. Conan, he can talk the talk, and he's like, yeah, hopefully we might see him in the WWE one day, which is very unlikely. I mean, he's never even been in the WWE that I remember, unless I'm wrong and I don't have no wrestling knowledge of it. But but Hernandez, Homicide, Santana, Ortiz. I know Hernandez. Everybody knows Hernandez, the big buff Mexican guy. I think he's misused in Impact Wrestling, honestly. But I don't know about him really. Also, the House of Hardcore Rules match between Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer. Be a pretty good match. Maybe they do. Maybe you're right. Better matches and better people. No, the match card for a Slammiversary isn't that bad. I usually blame the star power of Impact Wrestling for why it's kind of bad, honestly. Not so much the better wrestlers. The wrestlers aren't too bad. Although a lot of these matches seem like mismatches. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to get Slammiversary or buy it on TV or pay per view, whatever. It's probably going to be free. I think it's going to be free anyways, but. But also we have Phoenix versus Johnny Impact versus Rich Swann versus Taji Ishimori in a four-way match. A four-way match for what? An X Division title shot? Such a simple four-way match. Um, who is the upper management of Impact Wrestling? I don't think it's Dixie Carter still. I just don't know. Is it Jim Cornette was there for a little bit, then he left. Yeah, the management, I don't know much about them because I watch Impact with having no knowledge of it. I'm telling you, Impact isn't all that bad. It's something. It's just people don't tune into it. I was telling my friend I think it's better than Raw because Raw's been horrible lately. I mean, it's hard to make stars nowadays. But one of the matches at Slammiversary I do want to see is Pentagon Jr. versus Sami Callihan in a mask versus hair match, which I don't see Pentagon Jr. losing. Sami Callihan's shaving his head now on the sides and has that bald spot. So I got a feeling Sami Callihan's gonna lose. But here's the problem with this whole match and this whole scenario. Sami Callihan's one of the top heels right now in all of wrestling with the bullcrap he's been doing lately. And like the thing about Sami Callihan is like you want to make him look strong, not weak. You know what I mean? Dixie Carter. And you're right. Pentagon Jr., he's not going to lose. But the thing is about Sami Callihan, as big of a heel as he is, I would hate for him to just lose, and like them just drop the ball on him. As good of a heel as he is. But kind of like with things that the WWE has been doing with the heels, like hopefully they don't ruin Tommaso Ciampa on NXT, which I'm not gonna bring WWE into this or NXT into this. But like with Sami Callihan, he's not a horrible wrestler. He's not a bad wrestler, but like the thing about Sami Callihan, once he loses to Pentagon Jr., and Pentagon Jr. is a former TNA not TNA. I keep saying TNA, but Global Force Wrestling, no, not Global Impact Wrestling champion. I'm sorry, Impact Wrestling champion. So Sami Callihan, he him. I'm not saying losing to Pentagon Jr. would make him look bad, but I mean it'd ruin his heat make him look kind of like, not as great of a heel type of thing. Hard to explain it to you, really. It just ruined his momentum, I guess, is what I'm saying. But yeah, Pentagon Jr. is probably going to win. Unless they want to take his mask off, but I doubt it. Now, Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage for the X Division Championship. Such a mismatch. Matt Sydal. I like Matt Sydal in Impact Wrestling. I wish they could have done more with him in the WWE, but they didn't. It was Evan Bourne. He was with Kofi Kingston. He purposely got himself fired or something for doing drugs. That's typical, Matt Sydal type of thing. Evan Bourne, whatever. But Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage just seems like a mismatch to me. I mean, why would they make Brian Cage lose to Matt Sydal? That's the problem with this match. I mean, I've seen Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show before, but I mean, and I guess size doesn't matter in some sense. But like Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage, if Brian Cage doesn't win, it could end in like disqualification, count out. I don't even know. And what about Congo Kong? Brian Cage gave him the F5 on an episode of Impact Wrestling. So, Congo Kong, they ruined him, kinda. Congo Kong's not that bad. He doesn't have a real nice body, but he's not that bad of a wrestler. It's just, he's I guess a Walmart Umaga is what they call him. But, why would they have Brian Cage lose to Matt Sydal? That's what I wouldn't get. I'm going to say Brian Cage is going to win. And as far as Matt Sydal goes, I don't know what's going to happen to him. Alright, but yeah, I'm going to say Brian Cage. Now, Su Yung versus Madison Rayne for the Impact Knockouts Championship. They really should have given it to Tessa Blanchard this kind of opportunity against Su Yung. Or made Madison Rayne beat Su Yung for the championship and have Tessa Blanchard versus Madison Rayne. Tessa Blanchard, they're ruining her momentum too. Sabu. They have Tommy Dreamer. Does Tommy Dreamer count as retired? I mean, Tommy Dreamer, he's actually in a match with Eddie Edwards, so, maybe some of them make an appearance. Sandman, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, whoever. I don't know if he's retired. I don't know if RVD's retired yet. Tommy Dreamer, though, he can do things, but his time is kind of over, I guess. I don't know about Tommy Dreamer anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, what could the WWE do with him now? I remember they had the Wyatt family versus the Rhino, Tommy Dreamer, and some other guys. I forget. The Dudley Boys. That's what it was. Dudley Boys in a 8-man tag Extreme Rules match. But that was the last time I saw Tommy Dreamer on WWE programming, and now he's on Impact Wrestling. But putting Tommy Dreamer in a match at Slammiversary on Impact Wrestling, I mean, doesn't mean you're going to get ratings that way. You know what I mean? Tommy Dreamer, he had his moments, I guess, in the WWE and whatnot, but I don't know. All right, now you have the main event. Austin Aries versus Moose. Austin Aries versus Moose. I don't know if I like Austin Aries, honestly. Austin Aries. I hope for Moose to win, I guess. Austin Aries, he went to the WWE and became a nobody. Left the WWE to come back, and won a bunch of championships and whatnot. The thing about Austin Aries is, I'm kind of tired of Austin Aries holding the, Rich Swann. I don't think Rich Swann's a bad wrestler at all. And you're right. They bend the rules a little bit with their drug testing. I mean, Scott Steiner, for example. He was in Impact Wrestling. He just defeated KM, I believe his name was. Yeah, some random wrestler. There's that wannabe Yokozuna guy. God. I forgot his name. He's a wannabe Yokozuna. Rich Swann, Su Yung, in the same company. It's kind of weird. I'll tell you something funny. Ricochet and Tessa Blanchard are dating in real life, or married in real life. I think they're dating. I think Tessa Blanchard is Ricochet's girlfriend, whatever. I didn't know that till today, so that's actually interesting. But Austin Aries versus Moose. In my opinion, you won't agree with me saying this, but Moose is a very sloppy wrestler. He's not very good. He's not a very good wrestler at all. I mean, he can thank his Moose catchphrase. His catchphrases get you somewhere. People don't see the big deal of Adam Cole in NXT because Adam Cole has his catchphrase and his theme song and who his character. Adam Cole's not that great of a wrestler, but he is Adam Cole. You know, the Black Mojo Raleigh. Who you talking about? Moose, Rich Swann, or Moose? The Black Mojo Raleigh. I mean, Mojo Raleigh. Eh, I don't see nothing there with him. Oh, Moose. Moose. Eh. Moose. He's okay. They're not talking about his NFL career, which really their NFL career is over. That doesn't really matter. Wrestling and football are two different things. Even though I hear about them bringing back the XFL, whatever. Um, right now the biggest argument is should Bobby Lashley have stayed in Impact Wrestling? I don't know. What else could Bobby Lashley have done in Impact Wrestling? You know what I mean? Like Bobby Lashley, he went to the WWE, and they say he's being misused. I don't think he's being misused. It's just the fans don't know what to think of him because the WWE is so predictable that they don't even want to deal with. They don't want to know the outcome. You know what I mean? You got Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, four of their top stars being booed. No one cheers these guys. They cheer Lesnar more than they cheer Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley or Braun Strowman. Now they want Braun Strowman to win the championship with a Money in the Bank briefcase. At least Austin Aries versus Moose, which is, in my opinion is another mismatch. I mean, I don't mind Moose. I hope Moose actually becomes a big star in wrestling one day. I really do hope. Really do hope that Moose can become a huge star. I do see potential in him somewhere. He does he is sloppy in the ring, but I am a little high on him somewhat. It's just funny. You're gonna have Bobby Lashley, maybe the Universal Champion, and Moose as the Impact Champion. The whole black wrestler thing. They've argued about that. Him, other promotions. They need to allow Bobby to. Yeah. Now you're right about Bobby Lashley there. Their promotions. I mean, where else could have Bobby Lashley gone? Ring of Honor, House of Hardcore, Lucha Underground. I mean, a lot of these guys have turned wrestling more into a hobby than a real career. I mean, they don't really care anymore. Take Sting, for example. Sting started doing wrestling for a hobby in TNA. He didn't care about wrestling anymore. You have, Moose. I think Moose could, one day be like I said, Moose could be a big star. I see potential in Moose. But not right now. He'll work his way at Impact. It would be cool to see Moose in NXT one day and work his way to the main roster. I think Moose will be good, but I don't know. Sting versus Jeff match. Oh, Jeff Hardy. Yeah. All those people who bought that pay-per-view and now they wasted all that money. Jeff Hardy was messed up on drugs or drunk, and they had a match, and he just kind of, messed up. Jeff Hardy was supposed to beat Sting in that match, but, Eric Bischoff came out telling Sting, he's messed up, man, and that was it. They had to end the match. Huh. What about Hulk Hogan's run? Did you think Hulk Hogan made Moose? Now, here's the problem with the WWE. Okay, people say that in the WWE their roster is too big. All right, too big of a roster, So Moose versus Samoa Joe would be good. We were talking about Vince McMahon, his logic of wrestling, how big guys should be champions, and maybe Vince McMahon is right. Maybe someone like Daniel Bryan shouldn't be champion. Someone like Rey Mysterio shouldn't be champion. Have a image of someone who can destroy everybody as champion. People give Vince McMahon a lot of shit for that. But maybe Vince McMahon is right. Maybe big guys should be champions. Like Samoa Joe should be champion. Someone who could realistically beat up everybody. I mean, Brock Lesnar can beat up everybody, so to speak. So maybe Brock Lesnar should be maybe Brock Lesnar should be Universal Champion. Realistically, Bobby Lashley can beat up a lot of people. You know what I mean? So that's what makes them championship material. I mean, these wrestlers are not small guys, really. They're big guys. John Cena is a big guy. I mean, don't know if John Cena can beat up everybody. Yeah, maybe she doesn't like seeing the bad guy win. I mean, okay, realistically, could a guy like Daniel Bryan beat up a guy like Bobby Lashley? Realistically. In wrestling, I know it's an act, but you have to make it realistic. Okay, there was that WCW story about David Arquette. You probably heard about this. David Arquette becoming the WCW champion. Okay, and how that ruined the WCW title and everything it stood for, type of thing. David Arquette, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion in the record books. Realistically, I get that David Arquette is famous, but could he realistically beat up any of those guys? No. I mean, I'm surprised Haku never became a champion. King Haku, Ming, he was the toughest guy in wrestling history. Him, the Barbarian, they were never world champions. Ever. I'll watch him winning. Yeah, maybe. Samoa Joe might become champion soon. It's funny watching, it's got SummerSlam might be AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, which is so TNA. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. They had a match in TNA. Now they're having a match at SummerSlam. AJ Styles is that good. He is that good. I'm that guy right now saying I'm tired of AJ Styles being champion. He's been champion. He defeated Jinder Mahal for the championship. He's been holding the title since. A ladder match or TLC match? Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles in a TLC match? He's facing Rusev this Sunday at Extreme Rules in a regular match. This Extreme Rules pay-per-view is not even really extreme. There's a cage match, there's an Extreme Rules match, and there's a tables match on the pre-show. So Extreme Rules, not really extreme. My question is, will Slammiversary be better than SummerSlam? It can be, might be. I'm going to a wrestling event next month on the 4th. The SummerSlam live event tour thingy. And we're going to see some stuff. I'm going to see Rusev. It's going to be a SmackDown event in Pensacola. Live event. Not really SmackDown, but, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, all of them are going to be there. So I'm going to see them. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? Slammiversary is on the 22nd. It is the 22nd. Yeah. Live on pay-per-view. So I don't know if I don't know if it's free or not. Probably not free. I'll have to watch it online. Yeah, it's garbage. I mean, why not at Extreme Rules? Why not a chairs match? How about Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns in a street fight? You know what's sad? NXT's been better than Raw and SmackDown. How could developmental be so much better than the top shows? It shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? NXT TakeOver, they might do a Hell in a Cell between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. He might become champion. TNA was okay today. It was all right. OVE versus Richard Swan, Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. in the main event. 2 to 5 years. I didn't know it's been that long. You know, believe it or not, the first NXT takeover I saw was War Games. Believe it or not, it was a real good take. It was a real good takeover. I kind of watched before WrestleMania 33, I believe. Yeah, between Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. I watched that match kind of, but not really. They lost. OVE beat Phoenix, Pentagon Jr. and Richard Swan. So yeah, Johnny Impact versus Rich Swan. He's gonna. I don't know. WCW became garbage. WCW wasn't bad. I mean, but Slammiversary looks like it'll be okay. There's 8 decent matches with stories, I guess, but only 3 of them I care for. It's Pentagon Jr. versus Sammy Callahan, Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage, Austin Aries versus Moose, and Eddie Edwards versus Tommy Dreamer. So Young, they had a little promo with Madison Rain or whatever, some weird Bray Wyatt stuff. The Undead Bride's a weird gimmick. I hate that. It's like the woman version of Gangrel. Hey, but you know what else is pretty decent? New Japan Pro Wrestling. I saw Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes. 4-star match. 4-star match. Kenny Omega retained his title. I was hoping that Cody Rhodes would finally get his big moment in wrestling, but Kenny Omega is such a big star that they don't want to take that title off of him anytime soon. I think Cody Rhodes should have been a world champion in WWE, but they didn't do it. You like Sue Young? Why don't you marry her? Marry the undead bride. I wonder what undead head is like, you know? No, I'm kidding. But, I don't know, mask versus hair. Of course, people are going to watch Slammiversary to see a match like that, or to see Moose get his championship. My friend who was in Orlando, he actually saw Moose at the gym with Cedric Alexander. They work out together. It's crazy, you know? Moose versus Samoa Joe. Moose versus Rusev. Moose versus AJ Styles. What if Moose became the WWE champion? I don't think people would be happy about that, honestly. I don't know. I didn't watch all Impact. I watched like the last hour of it, and that was it. But yeah. But yeah, Slammiversary is July 22nd. Extreme Rules is Sunday. SummerSlam, don't know when it is. But we have Tessa Blanchard versus Ali, the Latin American Exchange versus the OGZ. Eddie Edwards versus Tommy Dreamer in a House of Hardcore Rules match. Phoenix versus Johnny Impact versus Rich Swann versus Taja Ishimori in a 4-way match. Pentagon Jr. versus Sami Zayn, mask versus hair. Lucha Tradition. Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage. Su Yung versus Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage. X Division Championship. Su Yung versus Madison Rain and Austin Aries versus Moose for the Impact World Championship. I'll commentate Extreme Rules, I guess, if I can. I have to go over there and do it. I can't have much sound, so I'll see what happens from there. But yeah, I might do it for you. Or even if I can't, I'll just review it for you guys. But yeah, I'll definitely be here on Sunday to review it for you. But yeah, I gotta go now. I got work at 7 in the morning. It was good talking to you guys. Have a nice day. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Jackson Parker saying, don't do drugs, don't drink and drive. And Extreme Rules on Sunday. I'll see you guys there. Good night, y'all. And thank you for watching.